all know that you are this massive YouTuber, and you, like Raptor just mentioned, you are growing so quickly. People want to really know the guy behind that facade of Let 'Em Peek. Who are you really? Tell us a bit more about yourself, perhaps.
First off, I just want to say, thanks for having me on here.
Sorry.
Looking forward to doing this. So, who am I? Kind of a difficult question to answer. I'm just a regular guy, man, and I've just been grinding out content. Just streaming constantly. Like even over New Year's, I did something like 2 back-to-back 20-hour streams, and one of them, I just sat there for 12 hours with the camera on and just talked to chat. And I mean, if you really want to know who I am, be there for that. I mean, I'm an open book. You can ask me pretty much anything, as long as it doesn't cross certain lines. And, I'll give you an honest answer. I'm just a regular guy, man. That's pretty much it.
And an exceptional player, of course.
Well, I try, but sometimes RNG doesn't want me to have, what I want.
So you mean CC status doesn't really give you the superpower that you want?
It gives you a different kind of power. It's the, oh my god, I want to shoot that guy power, and that's kind of annoying sometimes.
Get on your back, exactly.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, you don't get any kind of, there's no CC bias. I made that joke a long time ago whenever I met Spartan, probably, I don't know, 2.5 years ago. Just playing ranked, I met the guy, and I came up with that CC bias, and I threw it in his face for probably a year and a half, and then I got CC. What was it? Probably 7 months ago or so, 6, 7, something like that. Well, now I can't make that joke anymore. So,
no jokes. Yeah. Okay. We can understand that. So now we know, guys, that Let 'Em Peek streams constantly. So you're the guy that prefer the hard way to become a CC, because streaming is not for everyone. And I'm saying streaming is not for everyone because when you want to play competitive and you are streaming, these two worlds are not coming each other very well. So how you are a good streamer, I mean, any stream other than 4 hours, it is very, very hard for the personality to maintain a constant good rate of games and all that stuff. Streaming, it has to be with multiple things. We have to interact with the chat, you have to play well, you have to be focused on the game, and you have to be you have to do multiple things with your hands and be in a lot of monitors. So tell us the secret how you do this.
Well, it actually is. It's pretty hard. So I pulled up my analytics over here on Twitch, and I started on February 23rd of last year. And through February 23rd to now, I've logged 1,604 hours on stream. So we haven't even hit a whole year yet. I'm kind of curious what the number is going to be, come one full year. But it is difficult because, I remember the days back when I only had, 10 or 20 people in my stream, and the way the streamer sees the comments, I don't think people quite understand. So I've got my Twitch and my YouTube chat pulled up right here, right, in OBS, and you can only read about 10 or so, like 1-sentence comments, and then they cycle up. So when you've got 10 or 20 people there, the message will stay for a significantly longer time. So it gives you time to play and then just look over and you can read comments. When you have over 100 people and they're active in chat, which their chat tends to have conversations with themselves. So if anyone asks me a question and there's 20 people that are talking in chat about something completely unrelated, I gotta pay attention to that chat all the time, and I still miss comments, and I try and I try and get to them all, but sometimes, especially when you're like in a brawl situation in Legends, you can't take your eyes off the screen long enough, and it is really difficult. But I think the key is it's situational awareness, just like you have in Legends. If you're just playing the game, you're not streaming, you're staring at the minimap, and you're watching 2 or 3 people that are, could shoot you or are shooting you. And it's just the chat becomes one other thing that you flip between. So the 3 guys trying to kill you, the minimap, your reload, where your guns are, and chat. It's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But I think that kind of comes back from my background. I'm a fully licensed pilot. So,
really?
Yeah. And one of the things that you actually learn during all that is your scans. So to get your IFR rating, to be able to fly in clouds, you have to do scans of your instruments. You can never be fixated on one instrument. So you learn from that to go bing bang boom, bing bang boom, bing bang boom, and then you're checking 7 or 8 things simultaneously, never getting locked down or fixated. So I think that really helps manage the chaos, if you will, because sometimes it can be chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've tuned into a few of your recent streams, and I saw on YouTube and Twitch combined with the counters that you have on screen, you have about, I'd say, at least 100 viewers at one time between both platforms, mainly most viewers being on YouTube. So it's got to be quite a lot to keep up with, especially with how YouTube works, as there's no stop and go feature like it has on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, YouTube isn't really made for live streaming, but like Twitch is very, very streamer friendly. YouTube, not so much. And like, so right now, I think I'd have to check, but I think the average viewer count for the last week, I think the average overall is around like 125, 130. And for the first 2 hours of any stream, everybody's talkative, asking questions, saying hi to everybody, and chat tends to run pretty fast, which it kind of lends in my favor because I'm a battleship main in Legends, so it's not like I'm a cruiser playing an island trying to stay unspotted but still lob shells. It's significantly harder to read chat doing that. It's easier as a battleship guy,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're just bow tanking, but one shot every 30 seconds or so, bob and weave in and out, and in between read chat, and I don't know, it's something you got to get used to.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Yeah, I really love it. I mean, that's very good introduction about how you can manage to be a very good player, a streamer, and also, can you explain to me now why you are also salty? I mean, you have everything. You are a good player. You are a pilot. You have map awareness. You play good. You interact with your followers. And now, let's go to the part that it really amazed me. You are really something like a ghost in the community. I mean, let's go to the Reddit community that many of us are moderators there, and we keep following things and subjects. There is no pick there. There is no pick on the Reddit. There is a little bit of pick on the Facebook, but it is it's like a meme. Some people trying to meme you, especially the guys from Australia, if I remember well. So there is no let them pick on any social. Why you are a ghost there and there is nothing about you in the internet? Can you explain that?
Well, I don't do Reddit. I just don't have time, to be honest with you. I've got 2 Discord servers of my own. I've got my personal Discord that's just for everybody to do whatever, and got probably 50 tabs in that thing, over 500 plus people. And then I've got my clan Discord, and that's over, I think it's over 400 and something people. And I see quite a few names actually in the audience. I put out a thing, say, hey, come listen. I see quite a few of you guys here. I appreciate you guys coming. But I'm trying to do a little more Facebook, but it really just comes down to time. I just don't have time, you know? I'm kind of curious what my average stream duration is, but you know, like, what was it?
Probably like 2 hours.
Nights ago. 2 nights ago, we did a 8-hour and 35-minute stream or something like that. So like when you just think about a 24-hour day, I spend, when I stream, I usually do 5, 6, 7 hours per stream. I mean, unless something like last night happens where AT&T has an outage and I go dark for an hour. Yeah, it's just time. It's just time. I don't have time to get on Reddit and read Reddit, and I'm usually going back through streams. I'm clipping moments. I'm taking those, exporting to YouTube, snipping the screens, making my own thumbnails, scheduling uploads, and then by the time all that's done and I eat, it's almost time to go back on camera again. So
yeah, I think most of us can relate to that as well. You know, you get so involved with, especially your community and the people that listen to you and watch you, that you kind of forget about yourself, your own personal things. It's just the way that we function, the way that we work mechanically, kind of.
To do what I've done and to stream this much, you have to put your personal life on hold, which is a little more convenient with the whole COVID thing going around. Yeah, I mean, I spend so much time just on this, you know, streaming and editing and things like that. So,
and you still have time to get the family life in order and, you know, get everything up and done.
Yeah, and then you got the, you know, adulting responsibilities, which...
And then they reach that stage and they're like, man, I wish I was still a kid.
The funny thing is, when you become an adult, you actually find the good things in life. It's when you start seeing your children run around. I mean, you might not think that they're that much because you don't have them yet. The moment you got them, you see the value.
Yeah, no kids here, so...
Not yet.
I don't have kids, but if I saw them running around, I'd be very suspicious.
The things you got in the backyard of your house, I'm kind of scared of.
Goats and chickens? Oh, they're nice.
Well, I mean, technically,
you gotta watch
the
out
baby
for
ones
tiny
are
little
kids.
humans. They're smart to get into. Yeah, goats. Yeah, they are kids.
I could address one other thing that Pop brought up. You called me a salty streamer.
Yeah,
and
that's what people said to me. You know, they came into my DM and said, "Tell him why he's the salty guy." He will reveal something, okay? And I said, "Yeah, we have to find out why he is salty." People don't characterize others without any reasons. I mean, unless you have some difference with the community, open things. But I don't know. They have a reason to say that you are salty. And also, because it is a question from the community, they linked you to the Spartan with that. So you can explain to us later, but I would like the first thing. Let's say why you are the salty dog here.
Well, I think that's all matter of perspective and timing. The two guys I play with, I play with Aaron pretty much every night, just because we play so well together. And Spartan joins in probably once a week, maybe. I think I put out a dramatically less amount of salt than those two guys. I mean, to them, I look like zero salt. But I mean, everyone has those moments, man. You know, I don't have any salt towards the community. I've got salt towards the game itself. And if I get frustrated, like I said, I'm a real guy. I will speak my mind. And you know, this happened a couple nights ago where I got really frustrated. I wanted to get off Legends. I only played 4 or 5 games and I wanted to leave. I mean, just RNG. No, it was the third game. I played 2 Yamato games back to back, and then I played the Alaska. Okay, well, my Yamato, the first 2 games, I couldn't hit the broadside of an island. It was embarrassing. I was shooting at a guy at 10 kilometers and I was missing him. Consistently missing. You know, 6 splashes at 10 kilometers. It's a joke, right? No, they split him. They go left and right.
Shells,
they didn't go...
so it wasn't some short and then some behind? It was just...
No, they were splitting him. It was 3 right, 3 left almost every time. And I got kind of frustrated. I said, okay, I'm putting the Yamato down. I'm going to pick up the Alaska. We just came out of Arena. The Alaska is just one of my favorite boats in the game. So, okay, picking up the Alaska. And it's shards. Guess what spawn I got? Mid spawn, right? Obviously.
Division, correct?
So yeah.
Yep, that seems to be a trend. I'm pretty sure, at least with me and my friends, whenever we play in divisions, you get shards, it's always B spawn. You don't get any other spawn.
Well, guess what spawned across from us? Okay, Yamato.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We got islands. Well, so we play it. Aaron is in the Stalingrad. We play it very well. We ended up radar on the DD, killed him. We helped one of the flanks wipe their side. It's like 8 ships to 4, 8 ships to 5. We're doing really well, right? Okay, all in a span of 30 seconds, our team just absolutely took one over the bow, and now it's Aaron, me, and one other guy. And it's like, what just happened to my team? They're all dead. Well, the guy that spawned across from us, Type 1 camo, guy's got no idea what he's doing. He backed up all the way to the white line, sailed around in the back. He couldn't even hit me at the cap. That's how far away he was. Okay, Aaron and I start working down the team. We get down to the Yamato. It's just the Yamato now. And this guy's, I'd say, 3/4 health. Comes back in. I'm 30k in my Alaska. Okay, Aaron ends up dying. Me, Yamato, one teammate behind me. I take a shot, I turn bow in, 10 kilometers. This happened to me twice. That guy landed 9 shells to the tip of my bow and dev struck me, pointed straight at him. I wanted to come out of my skin because it's like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Like, this guy's probably got like a CV commander on his Yamato, and I've got a max dispersion build, I can't hit somebody. This guy dev strikes me through the bow, 9 shells to the tip of the bow. Like, what is that? Why is that a thing, And it came down to, I'm pretty sure we lost that game because he dev struck me through the bow.
That is something amazing that I must say, yes, 100%. Those moments when you know your bow should be working for you 100%. But then in my heart, I know this is going to hit me hard. I just turn a little, RNG plays such a big role in this game. So much that I sometimes think to myself, is skill not enough anymore? Do I need to pay Wargaming off to give me RNG or what? There's such a fine line between auto bounce and overmatch. There's such a fine line. And it is very irritating to players that you're bowing, like you said, on your Alaska, and that Yamato just punches right through because he has the overmatch. You turn maybe 10 degrees one side or the other, he'll auto bounce right off the side of your hull, and he can't overmatch you. It's that 100 mil plate right on the cheek of the Alaska. It was 127, 107. But that plate is much thicker than her bow, and Yamato can't overmatch that. It's infuriating, and it's one of those wonky game mechanics that will catch even seasoned players off guard.
And there's me here just being RNG rich and lucky and getting everything.
Maybe sometimes you have to give something to take something. Yeah, but there are times that you can hit a mini car with your cells, and there are times that you can't hit an island with your cells. So that was your last sentence.
Yeah, RNG doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It truly doesn't. I actually remember there was one time pre-Yama nerf that the Yamato was being so inaccurate for me that I took and put a destroyer commander on there. I had twist and track on my Yamato. And this was actually on stream. I had like 14 kilometer range or something with twist and track on a Yami. And I had better dispersion than my max Scharnhorst and Cunningham, and so I just don't understand. I feel like there is an underlying problem in the game with aiming, because I've been playing some PC, and the way aiming works in Legends just truly doesn't make sense to me. I would like to see one day a rework of aiming, because there is problems of shells falling short and this target lock system. when you go to lock a target and you fire at them, like the reason you have to lock the targets because it takes into effect their camo or any anti-dispersion build they might have or whatever, and it affects your dispersion. But the whole aiming, it's like, the best way I can describe it, it's like a two-dimensional picture. It's just a flat plane, and that is aiming when you lock a target. That's why when somebody is 16 and running away from you and you have range of 16-8, you'll aim up all the way and you can't hit them. Like the shells will always fall short.
Yeah,
and
indeed.
And there's no reason for it, because that guy's not going 0.8 kilometers in the 10-second flight time of your shells, you know? So, but if you unlock the target and you manually aim to 16.3 or 16.4 where he's going to be, and you pull the trigger, you'll hit him every time. And it's like, one day I would like to see that reworked, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
I actually agree with you. I'd rather have them completely remove it. Yeah, completely. Remove auto aim. We don't need it. Make it more engaging.
Auto aim is never right on. I do remember the time, though, when Legends first came out, that auto aim was the perfect position. I think what they did is they added a displacement bubble.
Yeah.
So you'll always hit behind, high, low, forward. Because, dude, auto aim 2 years ago was disgusting.
It was aligned with your center, and it was could have guessed the position of your ship, of the enemy ship. So it was a perfect thing. And I saw a lot of videos of people tapping that R3 button many times, so they can spam and trigger that auto aim. And yeah, it was disgusting. And I think now they have a mechanism so it can be a bit randomized. So you have to put some effort.
I was going to say, I thought that too, but I don't know if you guys saw, somebody posted on the forums, he broke his personal damage record in the Iowa, and this is back when I couldn't get the thing to shoot straight at all. And I clicked it, and I watched this guy's entire game, and I wanted to throw up. Every shot he took, he had like 330k in damage in the Iowa. And he was triple tapping the left trigger, and then he was single firing his guns. Boom, boom, boom. Terrible dispersion. Terrible. But the guy was landing 2-3 citadels per shot. And I was like, what? So, I don't know.
Exactly. So, I'm gonna move up and pick up some questions from the community, because they have them. So, let's say, I see an interesting question here. How much do you like the RicheeU? And is it your favorite ship? And a lot of people are laughing with emojis for that question. That comes from Bombital Broman. So he's asking,
how much do I like the... Okay.
The Richelieu.
Yeah, I see his question. Okay, well, a couple of my buddies, they give me hell for this because they say I have the most expensive Richelieu in the game. Or Richelieu, or however you want to say it. Expensive, yeah. I've got the one and only $200 million Richelieu. Yeah, because I've bought and sold the boat over 7 times.
Oh yes, I remember Spartan saying about you selling it and then buying it back and then selling it. That's nuts.
Oh,
yeah, I hate that ship. So,
do you have the JB though?
I do not, and that is a little bit of a sore topic.
Damn.
So I could have had the JB, and this is before I knew how to operate the game, and I had spent $0 on the game, and I was 5 doubloons short of getting JB, and I played that night, and I said, okay, I'll pick it up in the morning. I said I'll break the bank and buy 2,500 doubloons. I'll pick the boat up in the morning. Come morning, it was gone, and yeah. Still hurts to think about it.
I sorry I brought it up.
I opened 40, but that's... Oh, actually, one of my viewers, he went to work, and he came home, and he found out his kid purchased something on the line of thousands of dollars in crates.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I forget the exact number. I don't want to throw it out there, but I almost want to say it was like a couple $1,000s worth of crates.
Did he at least get the JB?
Absolutely not. He got zero. He got 0 of those ships.
Super crate?
Yeah. He got nothing.
No.
He got the ships, but he didn't get the JB, the Wichita, or any of those that he wanted. Yikes!
That is yikes,
Yeah.
man. I'd be screaming my head off. Unlike me, I'm like the guy looking for the Blishka, and then Papa goes and opens 20 crates and gets it. It's like, come on.
The two versions of the Bliska, the black, the original.
Exactly. It's like when you've got the thing, they'll give you the other thing. It's like me when Black Friday, first Black Friday that came out, I had the Atlanta. I was there during that campaign. And when the Black Friday crate dropped, what do I get? A black Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's why I don't try for any of those tier 5 crates, because then I'd literally just be begging to pull a war spite.
The Vanguard, you have to find exactly how to play it. And I think I figured that out. Because if I'm playing solo, I will actually jump in a Vanguard. Because it has a very specific role. No, it is not frontline battleship, but I've got a 20.5 kilometer range on it. I've got ridiculous turret traverse. It's got pretty decent HE, got a pretty decent reload. And so when you find exactly how to play Vanguard, she's nasty. I mean,
Yes.
truly, like very nasty. When you know how to play it correctly and you position it correctly around your team,
Mop.
you're burning down the competition at 20 kilometers. I'm here to tell you, those guys can't hardly hit you. So like armor is kind of because their dispersion will spread out, and you know they're lobbing you that far. You can just hit the gas, and then their shells land behind you. Go back on reverse, keep burning them down. And then when it comes to tier 7 is now legendary tier. There is no more tier 7. I'm fully convinced of that. When it comes to like battling a Yamato or GK, it's either long range HE or it's sneak attack, where you position yourself to where they can't shoot you until you get 4, 5, 6 kilometers away, and you pop out on them. Hit that reload booster with the AP. I mean,
And then you got
dude, it's
damage
I'm starting to enjoy the Vanguard, man. As a guy who ragged on the Vanguard for over 2 years, as one of the worst battleships in the game, I enjoy it now.
If you have it, take a look at Monarch and apply the same kind of standard to her, and I think you'll enjoy Monarch quite a bit better. Because the two have very similar roles, they have very similar performance values. However, Monarch, you are on a much more forgiving platform. You trade kind of Vanguard's design for the Design 15C of the KG5s, so you kind of have to re-inherit a lot of the issues that you traded out of the KG5s to get the Vanguard 4.
Right.
But you get better gunnery performance based off of it. Now, where you have to reliably angle in a Vanguard, you can actually get away with it a little bit more in Monarch because her Citadel is so much better protected, again, due to the decision on the design to stick with 15-inch guns instead of going up to 16-inch. It's one of the reasons why Lion is so vulnerable, Vanguard is so vulnerable, is because of their designs, where they're incorporating improvements on firepower and sacrificing armor. Monarch is the other way around, but she still actually manages to keep a lot of that firepower because it's more consistent. You have
Interesting.
1.8 Sigma, but you also have Royal Navy dispersion. But you keep that, you keep your quarter pen HE, or not? Isn't quarter pen? I can't remember what the pen is, but you wind up keeping a better ability to keep shells on target. And the reason is because your firing angles are so much more forgiving. Check it out. Monarch still keeps that 20-second reload, so you're still throwing shells downrange at a pretty good rate.
On your YouTube stream that you had yesterday, or the stream that you had yesterday, and also like you mentioned just a bit earlier, saying that you really like to play Tier 7 before Legendaries came out, and I got a quote from you saying if you're a Tier 7 ship in a Legendary game, you're pretty much KIA at that point. Your opinions of the state of the game?
The state of the game, I don't think it's as bad as some people think, but I definitely think a lot of tuning needs to go in, because our game is so different from PC. Different armors, shell velocities, different pin. I mean, you look at them back and forth, they're not the same game, but they are the same game. And so, I just don't think, I don't think you can have Legendary be in tier 7. It does not stack correctly. And the fact that all these rental ships are out there now, it's worse than ever. Whereas pre-rental, you could play 10 games in tier 7, and probably half to 3/4 will be Legendary for me. I don't think I've played a tier 7 game, just 7 since the rentals have come out. It's just all Legendary matches. And when you look at it from a standpoint of destroyers, where does the balance of power tip? Kaba, Kleber, Shima, Gearing. Gearing is more flat-footed. It's just a Fletcher, basically. It's more even. But Cab, not a chance. Kleber, not a chance. Shima, get real. Shima's got a 330,000 potential strike every minute and 12 seconds. I mean, so back to the question though, is with the state of the game, the only problem I have right now with the state of the game is 7s and Legends. They just do not belong because the balance of power is tipped so greatly in one direction, and it can be anyone in a Shima, and pick your poison. So Alaska, Yamato, I mean, they're gonna touch you. They're gonna hurt you, even if they don't know what they're doing. You can take somebody that truly does not know how to play the game, put them in a Yamato, and say, shoot the guys that are red. If you're in a battleship in tier 7, he can pin every part of your boat, break your guns, and cap your guns, catches you broadside, citadels you because you got auto aim. So it's further helping them. And then you got Alaska. It's a great ship, even without a good commander. Great AP, ridiculous HE.
It's coming back. There's something that came up a while back, and people were talking about a buffer tier. What do you think about that?
What do you mean by a buffer tier?
A tier between 7 and 8. Kind of like a tier
8.
There were some discussions about it,
So ships that are stronger than tier 7, but not as strong as legendary ships. So tier 7 ships can still, have something to worry about, and they're not always going to be stuck at the top tier, but they're not going to be stepped on as hard as they are now with the ships that are currently available.
I'll answer both those together. Number one, the buffer tier. I don't think they have this set up correctly to have another tier thrown in at the last minute. If they did that, I think they'd have to move all the lines and shuffle the lines around. I just don't think that would be the best way to do it. I think it'd be way too complicated, way too much work. What they should do, in my eyes, is buckle down and release 20 ships for Legendary tier and make Legendary tier its own tier. And just get rid of that right there. And that way people that are free to play, that are just grinding up their lines, they can play up and play their 7s and play their 6s. Do you guys remember a little more than a year ago, before Legendary, tier 6 was the tier that you really didn't want to play for me, because there was nothing in tier 6 with good armor and very good guns for battleships. Not really. So you got thrown into a 7 match and you were struggling, And now that's how it is with tier 7, because now you're in Legendary tier. So it's okay, if you don't want to be up tiered, you got to play Legendary, but there's only, we got 3 battleships, 4 coming soon, Montana, and you've only got 2 cruisers, now 3 cruisers with the Mino, and you got 4 DDs. So my answer to that would be buckle down and release a ton of Legendary ships, get them roughly balanced, and release them and get Legendary into its own tier where it belongs, in my eyes. And then part 2 to that question was the whole mobile situation. That's a complex thing. It's going to be really good for their pocketbook, or at least I think it could be, because this game is fun. And if you could do it on mobile, why not? If they could make money off it, why not? But the problem I see is when you take a mobile player, throw him into a battleship, throw him into a cruiser, and I'm in a battleship, and I'm going against him, I'm going to beat that guy 7 ways to Sunday, and it's not even going to be close. Because I've got a controller in my hands. I've got 2 gimbals. I've got multiple buttons, you know. He's got 2 thumbs, and he's doing everything on the screen with his 2 thumbs. I don't think it's going to be good for the overall player base. Now, like I said, great for wargaming. I think it would be bad for the player base. You know, when you're talking about, perfect example, battleship on battleship. You're talking, let's just say, for instance, I don't know what it is. Let's say 15 degrees off bow, ricochet. 16 degrees off bow, it pins. So in controller, we can kind of see that more fine-tuned. So we can know exactly where to angle and just be on the inside of that line, holding like a 14 or a 13 degree angle. You get that guy to shoot your belt because he thinks he can pin you. But you know he can't pin you. And then you can open up and you blap him with the third gun. So it's stuff like that I think mobile isn't going to have the ability to do that. And therefore, I think you're going to have a fairly one-sided engagement. Controller, well, whatever console you're on, is going to do better than the mobile. So,
which is why they need controller access on mobile by Bluetooth. Because if they don't have that, it doesn't make sense.
The Mino, I will let pick up that question, and I will go further deep in that Minotaur thing. Come on, pick.
Mino might be the most fun boat to play in the entire game at the moment, at least for me. It's a pop your smoke and sit there and just so much DACA, you know, just 500 rounds on target at the end of a game. A lot of fun. Yes, you can destroy a destroyer, but if you're sitting in your smoke, you know, who's going to spot him? So if you have the combo that works the best, gearing Mino in a battleship, most likely conquer. Gearing donates you smoke on the edge of a cap, going into the cap. So you've got 2 minutes to sit there and rain hellfire. Gearing engages whatever it is. And whatever it is, the Mino, because you're on the edge of the cap, he's on the other side of the cap, you can delete him. And then you have your own personal smoke after that, so you're not spotted for the first 4 minutes of the game, roughly. Maybe even 5 by the time you get to your position. You can run the perma-smoke thing on it, just fine. I don't. I've tried it. But with radar Mino doesn't really work. Like, I don't know. It really doesn't work because, well, Mino is the first cruiser that they actually got right in this game. Because ever since the overpin meta, where they changed something with shells arming and interacting with armor, you know, cruisers are perpetually broken. Well, okay, now Mino gets hit with 2 or 3 shells and you will lose all of your health. And it's because the shells are actually arming in the Play-Doh boat. That's what I call it. It absorbs every shell from everything. Doesn't matter if it's a Gearing, a Georgia, Yamato, a Cleveland, the AP arms. And you get like max AP damage, which I think is necessary. It should be overpins. Exactly. So that's a whole nother topic. I think there's something wrong with the shell arming. But we can get into that at some other point, because that's a whole separate issue. I just don't know that you'll get them to change anything. I want them to release all the boats going forward, all the cruisers coming forward, to be like that Minotaur armor and actually arm my AP so I can actually delete it. Because there's literally nothing in this world more annoying than the Ochakov at 18.5 kilometers with a 4-5 reload, just absolutely dumpstering you and lighting you on fire, and you can't do anything about it. Stalingrad has a better chance, but you're still overpinning almost every shot when you get the shot. It's just like, man, thank you, Hipper. Thank you, Hipper, for creating that.
I've actually got a nice one from Boats and Hose. I love this guy's name. When crossplay divisions finally arrive, who are the 2 PS players that you really want to play with first?
Older brother Gecko. Gotta play with my older brother. That's difficult. I mean, I think I'm going to do a week when we finally get it. I'm just going to do it like 4 or 5 days in a row, 4 or 6 hours at a time, only playing with my members and my donators that are on the YouTube side that I've never been able to play with. Yeah, exactly. Because there's a lot of those guys that, they can get in on count-ins, but I can't div with them. So that'll be really nice. And then from there, obviously, the CCs as well. I mean, but definitely my community will be the whole community on PlayStation will be who I play with.
Damn, you're such a... we finally kind of meet you. We see the person that you really are now. And yeah, I mean, but look, people call him salty. But can you really say the man's salty? Oh, no. I mean, perspective-wise, the perspective that you care. Yes, there might be some salt, but we all got salt, man. Come on, let's be honest. It's a part of the game. Yeah, just don't send a guy a message saying his mother's, I mean, that's the only thing. But after all, it's about the community. And this is the... Damn, Pete. Damn, oh, thanks. You are brilliant, man. Honestly, I want to say thank you.
Well, thank you.
No, thank you. God, the community that loves you, they should be thankful. And you're thankful for them.
Well, I put out a video right after Christmas, before New Year's. I went through all the analytics and I talked about everything. And the only reason I exist is for the community. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for the community. But because when I started streaming, it was just for fun. It was for giggles, And the whole month of February, I think I had an average of 1.2 viewers when I started. And it's kind of going, why am I doing this? And why am I streaming? And then March rolled around and I had a couple guys come in and start hanging out for a couple hours. And, we would do count-ins and we would get my 10 viewers. We'd all get in the game. I remember, dude, back in March, April, when I started, having 20 people, we'd take over lobbies. And let me tell you, that's fun. When I get everyone on my team and everyone on the enemy team is people from the stream, you talk about some sweaty games. Everyone's holding positions. DDs are trying to take caps, reversing into caps. It's like everyone wants to beat each other so bad. Nobody YOLOs. Everyone plays perfect. And these are even just, 50% win rate, average players, but they watch me and so they mimic what I do and Aaron and some of the other guys. And it's like, man, that's so much fun. I can't wait for training rooms. Can't wait.
Yeah, on the topic of your growth for your YouTube specifically, I went to Social Blade and got some stats. The past 30 days, you've got 400 subscribers, and within the past 6 months, so from April up until I think it's December, you gained almost 3,000 subscribers, which makes up 80% of your current account, which is just astonishing.
It's been crazy, but I took a very specific avenue at this. So I decided April, May, in that time frame, we started having these 20, 30 guys in my streams, and it became a nightly ritual. These guys would come home from work, whatever, and they'd turn on the stream, they'd hang out, and they knew everyone in chat, they knew me, they knew who I was playing with, and it became a community right then and there. So back then I went, okay, I have the chance to do something here that could be bigger than myself. So I said, okay, I'm going to start doing this specific times every day, and I'm going to try and grow an internal community. And that's exactly what happened. So then I opened up Discord servers, and you know, I do get new people that come in, and I would say, from my perspective, there's a lot of guys that watch and don't comment, and those are the guys I don't know about. But I would say probably 50, maybe 40% of the people that come into a stream and they interact with chat and they ask me questions, they come back the next night and they say hi to everybody, and people start learning their name. Well, they do that long enough over the course of a week. Well, then it's like, oh, hey, it's going, I know that guy, you know, and then everyone else knows that guy, and he's got a place in the community that I built that everyone knows him. He can come in, hang out. Everyone's friendly, you know. Very rarely do we ever have a problem with, you know, one guy coming in and, you know, just trying to make a ruckus. So it's I don't know, it's pretty special to me what we built.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Peak. It's always good to hear all the details about streamers and also our community contributors for this wonderful game that we've got. We're about at the point where we are going to open the floor up to members of the audience to come through and have a conversation with you. So anyone who wants to join in, put your hand up. We'll invite you forward.